Hello, welcome to Stretford Paddock. My name is Joe and that is Stephen Howson, and today we're going to try and do something in a way that is positive. I mean, it may end up being pretty negative, but the idea, don't start the watch because we can be positive for a few minutes, is we're going to look at,
not a prayer,
with all the negativity around United and the players, I'm going to try and flip it and we're going to try and work out who United can build around.
That word try is doing some lifting.
It really
there.
is.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about who United can build around in this squad. Which players that we currently have that we do actually think can work.
Start the clock, we might get a reel out of this.
Can get us back up to challenging for trophies. It might be a short one, but we'll see. So I've got sort of three categories for you. I've got the first category, which you can stop me if you want, but it's basically the players that I think everyone can agree will probably leave this summer. Then the second category, we're going to go through the players that I think are certain to be here with next season. And then I think it's that middle category where we need to thrash a few names out. Okay, does that make sense? Does it all work? Nice, isn't it? It's good, this. Right, let's start with the people who are almost certainly going to be leaving. So
didn't realise that was Dorgu's middle name, by the way. That's an impressive middle name.
It is a very impressive middle name. It's Chinazak Pear or something to that effect. So here are the players that I think we almost don't need to discuss. I'm just going to rattle through them. You stop me if you think any of these are going to stay.
Jaina.
Victor Lindelof, Tyrell Malacia, Luke Shaw, Johnny Evans.
Whoa. Why is Johnny Evans going?
He's 37.
When was the last time he had a bad game?
When was the last time he was fit?
They didn't ask that.
Okay.
When was the last time he had a bad game?
Against Arsenal under Amorim. Following on from that, we've got Christian Eriksen, Casemiro, who I think obviously will both go probably in the summer. Marcus Rashford seems like he's on the way out almost certainly. We've got Anthony again, who I think everyone is willing to sell him. Jadon Sancho is basically out the door already. For me, those are the ones that are the kind of, they might not all go this summer, but no one thinks we're going to be building around them for years to come. Yeah.
By fuck do we need to sign some players in the summer, because that is a lot.
It's a long list of just like you're done at the club.
The likes of Lindelof might not be able to go.
No. I don't know how long's left on his deal. I don't know if he's done this summer.
Is it?
Well, potentially.
Because
we'll
five-a-side at training might need Ruben to put his boots on.
Yeah. Let's go now the other end before we get into the main sort of meat of this. Players who are almost certainly not going anywhere anytime soon. So you've got...
I noticed Tom Eaton wasn't in the last list. That's a good thing.
He wasn't on the list at all.
No, as he shouldn't be.
He's not going to be on the list in any way. I don't think De Ligt is going anywhere this summer.
Agree.
I think that's fair enough. I don't think... I mean, I'll leave Mazraoui maybe. I don't think Lissandro Martinez...
Why would Mazraoui be going anywhere?
Well, because where does he fit would be the conversation around Mazraoui.
Wherever he fucking wants.
Okay,
he's
so
one of the
Mazraoui's
best footballers that we've got.
There you go.
With the 27 you've got leaving, he will have a ball and chain round his ankle. He's going nowhere.
Okay, Mazraoui's staying. Lenny Yoro, I think undoubtedly staying. Patrick Dorgu, not even worth having a conversation, is definitely staying. The same can be said for Aidan Heaven, who obviously literally just made his debut. I think in terms of staying, Manuel Ugarte, he's not going anywhere. I would put Kobbie Mainoo on this list. I know there was conversations about him potentially being for sale if someone came in.
I just felt that was agent talk.
Yeah, okay, so he's definitely staying. Same with Toby Collier, and I think Amad Diallo is another one where no one wants to see him leave and he's not going to be going in the summer.
Collier might.
Okay. So
probably won't with the numbers going and the amount of, like, if you're losing Eriksen, you're losing Casemiro, it'd be mental to let anybody else you don't have to go, but... And he's probably not got a mad... no one's going to come in and be like, Toby Collier, 65 million, let's talk. Whereas there's a name that we haven't heard yet that probably is going to be in that sort of ballpark.
Yes. So I think they're all the kind of... these lads are going to stay and they should definitely stay. Let's now get... I think this is where it gets a bit more exciting. Andre Onana.
I think with the upheaval that you're about to see, you'd be mental. I understand people's frustrations with him. I don't think he's the reason for United's woes at the moment.
So you'd keep him? You think he can be part of things going forward?
For the next... I certainly wouldn't say I'm building a team around him. And I would say the same about Bruno Fernandes as well.
Okay.
But I don't think the first priority come the 1st of June is bring somebody else in for Onana. I think he'll be all right if you replace him in due course. Okay.
I'm going to leave it out Bayindir and Heaton off this list again because with goalkeepers, it's basically your first choice is so far ahead of the others, and Heaton's,
What? Heaton's what? On a dual red with Paddock next season? Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. Harry Maguire.
Outside of the fact that I do not have the confidence that you would bring in a suitable replacement, I'd get rid.
Okay.
Because I don't think he suits what we're trying to do.
Not even in that sort of central centre-back spot where he's less running, a bit more kind of aerial ability, that kind of thing?
There isn't less running, though.
He's less like tracking out wide to the flanks.
I know, but
typically.
even him running back from the halfway line in what looks like slow motion ain't the one, mate.
So you think relatively short term he's got to go?
I don't think it'll be this window because, and I don't know how long he's got on his deal. He might be one that's just allowed to leave rather than a sell-on. I don't think he's an issue, but I certainly don't think he's... if there's a rebuild happening, he shouldn't be starting for United on the other side of it.
Same question, Lisandro Martinez.
Less of an issue.
Yeah.
More of a, how does he recover from his injury? Does he recover from his injury? If he does, I've got no questions about Lisandro Martinez whatsoever.
Yeah. I think he's, for me, when he plays, I think he's often our best centre-back. Certainly, he's by far the best at one of the parts of being a centre-back, which is on the ball. His ball-playing ability is a level above everyone else. It's just, at times tracking into those wide areas, his raw pace against certain opposition can leave him wanting. And also, broken foot, re-surgery on broken foot, ACL, they're chunky, hefty injuries, aren't they? So that's my only worry.
I do have a genuine worry that he might not ever reach the level that we've seen him play at.
I know, which would be very sad. Diogo Dalot.
Squad player. You can't get rid of everyone. Seems like he's got a great attitude. Gives a fuck, which is something that you can't label for everybody, but shouldn't be good enough to be starting unless he figures out something and adapts quickly because he's been quite poor. But I don't think... He's not on mad wages. And he's got the seemingly right stuff, and I think you put him in a match and tell him to boot someone, he'll do it.
Yeah, I think that's...
And I've got time for that.
Yeah, and he'll play left back, right back, left wing back, left right wing back. He'll probably play right centre back if you asked him to. I think he's played something like, 100 games in the last 18 months. And you think he's gone from never really being a starter for Man United to 100 games in 18 months for club and country. You think, no wonder he's up and down. Like you said, a squad player, utility man, I would agree. Mason Mount, 2 years here now, and just been injured for almost all of it.
Well, you're not getting any resale for him.
No.
He did look semi-serviceable for what we seen, about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even under Amorim, was it? We haven't seen him under Amorim, have we?
No, we have. Yeah, a couple of games under Amorim, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, pressed like fuck, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was good.
On the account that you couldn't fucking give him away, might as well see if he's serviceable. And again, you've got so many players packing their shit.
You'd keep him this summer?
I'm absolutely not building a squad around him.
Yeah.
I just don't think you'd sell him.
What about Bruno Fernandes?
I wouldn't sell him either.
Right.
But I wouldn't be building a team around him. I'd be trying to forecast 4 or 5 seasons. What is he, 28, 29?
I think he might be 30.
Is he 30?
Yeah, I'll double check that.
He don't look a day over 40.
No, he doesn't look a day over the 40-year-old we signed. He's 30, yeah.
He is 30.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to assume in 5 years he won't be here.
And that's how long you think it's going to be until we're challenging?
I don't even know if it was that long, Joe. It's a minimum of 5 years to turn this shit around.
Okay.
So he's not a priority to fix.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be here when we do.
That's a shame, innit, that? I feel a little bit guilty for him. I know,
unless it's Brian Robson tackle and he kind of gets a little bit of a one towards the end and we wheel him out when he's half busted.
He's 34, 35. Yeah. It would be sad, that. I mean, he could. He's got a bit of that Modric body type where he's just relentless, skinny, wiry, always fit.
Modric walks around with a glass of fucking wine in his hand, and Bruno Fernandes charges about the place like he's meffed out.
Yeah, but hopefully he can last until then.
I mean, the way he plays, genuinely, might be done by 31.
Yeah, absolutely. I think moving to the forward line, because this is where it gets... This is the conversation we've been having all season, isn't it? And I'm slightly worried about what you're going to say here. Rasmus Højlund.
Gone.
I don't mean to laugh at that, it's how quick you responded. You just don't think there's a serviceable player there at all? Okay. Joshua Zirkzee?
Not a priority to get rid of.
Yeah.
But I don't see a time when he starts for Manchester United week in, week out. If we're good again. He might, because we're probably not gonna. But if we're good... And do you know what? I actually think the same about Ahmad. If United are challenging for titles again, Ahmad as he is right now probably isn't starting for us. Right. He's the 12th man. I think he's the first off the bench. I like him. I think he's brilliant and he's if it wasn't for the injury, he was a shoo-in for Player of the Year. Bruno might get it now with some of the clutch goals that he's had and bailing us out. But right now, I don't think Amad is starter quality for United. So for all the people that would be like, fucking Xerxes, blah, 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 I also don't think Amad is. I don't think there's many in the squad that are, and I think that is the reason we're fucking 15th, lads.
Yeah.
It's not an accident. No. I think he's the best forward we've got. Still not good enough to be playing for us, really.
Does he start in any of United's sort of great teams, or not even the great teams? What would you say our weakest?
Doesn't start in the 2018 team, for fuck's sake.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. Finally, then, and this is one of the ones that has been pretty controversial, and it looked as though he could leave almost in January. Alejandro Garnacho.
I got no doubts in my mind whatsoever that I would get rid of fucking immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
What's happened to him and his potential in future at United? Because you go back 12 months and it was exciting, young player, all these Ronaldo comparisons, putting in that goal against Everton and clutch goals, like you said, even before that against Fulham.
No. Even then, the decision making's been shit.
Yeah. So is it just a lack of improvement over that time?
It might even be regression over that time. What can he do?
I think he finds ways to make chances and shots for himself. I think that's a decent trait to have.
Does he, or does he just shoot at every opportunity?
Well, it's something that our other strikers don't do. You look
right, but then you don't have the ball anymore because he's just into tier 2.
Okay. I think he is very relentless. I think he brings an energy to his side of the pitch that others don't anywhere else on the pitch.
So would Mo Farah.
Yeah, but Mo Farah can't dribble and shoot and score. But Xerxes doesn't do that. Højlund doesn't do that. He's the only one that is a constant front foot threat.
To what end?
No, I'm not saying that he's a completely.
He's a number 10 that's
player.
playing as a winger because he doesn't seem to be able to grasp the position of that sort of 10, wide 10 kind of role. I don't think he's got the ability to beat a man, stand him up and go past him in the traditional sense. Certainly not a Riyad Mahrez in that sort of sense. His finishing is fucking abysmal. He's 5% conversion rate.
Yeah. Part of that is because of what you said before about where he takes his shots from.
Yeah.
And how kind of, I would say, almost wasteful he is with his
It is.
position.
Wasteful is exactly the word.
Yeah.
But the unquantifiable thing, there's no stat for making the wrong decision. The amount of times that there's a pass on and he shoots or takes an extra touch to get in a better position to try and fuck it off over the bar, there's no stat for that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's the most obvious one for me. Like, can he not see Dorgu? The last time him and Dorgu played together, it was like, give it a ball. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Like, the amount of times that you're shouting at him to do that. Cristiano Ronaldo, the comparisons between those two, and Ronaldo was extremely wasteful in his first couple of seasons. But there was also something there. Like, he would get a lot of opportunities. He would miss a lot of opportunities. He also fucking scored quite a lot of his opportunities. And you could see that there was progression, potential, effort. He would make the wrong decision, but then he would make the right decision. And at the moment, I'm just seeing wrong. That's got to be broken at some point, and he's got to start showing the promise to make the right decision at times. Like in his last fucking how many games? When was the last assist? When was the last goal?
Yeah, I think it's something like 18 games without a goal.
Right. People focus far too much on age and not enough on experience. The guy's played 125 fucking games for Manchester United. 125 games. I think Beckham only played about 180 in his entire career. That might not be right. It feels like it's right.
Maybe league games.
Yeah. Something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At what point do you expect him to suddenly... Is it his 300th game? Is it his 200th game? That's only 15 games away.
Yeah.
At what point do you expect to see him? Like, Ahmad's older, but he's got a quarter of the experience of him. And the amount of... Like, he doesn't win his battles. He doesn't win his duels. He doesn't create for others. Whereas Ahmad's doing the opposite of that. He does win his duels. He does go and fucking press and win the ball back. You don't see Ahmad doing that. Sorry, you don't see Garnacho doing that. You see Ahmad creating for others consistently and then missing it. You just don't see that with him. I don't think it's a controversial take in the fucking slightest. I think if anyone's stupid enough to give us £60 million, you fucking grab it and tell him no takes his backsies.
Right, I think that's a good place to end it. So we're building the team around basically Mainu, long term, Mainu, Yoro, Dorgu. Is that it? Ugarte?
And Tom Heaton.
And Tom Heaton. And Johnny Evans.
I tried Johnny Evans. Sorry, Johnny.
You tried. Right, thank you very much for joining us. Get your thoughts in the comments below as well. Obviously, the Garnacho one, I think, will be the one that might have the most conversation around it. But who do you think we can actually...
Do you actually think people genuinely think that he's going to develop into a world-class footballer?
I don't know if... I think the idea of world-class is kind of falling away from people's minds a little bit. But I think someone that can get you 15 goals, 8 assists a season, people think he can do that. I do think that, yeah. I'm not saying I do or that, he will, but I do think that's the thought around him is that he could go on to do that, yeah. We'll have to see. Get your thoughts in. Let us know in the comments. Thanks, Dee. Thanks for joining us at home. See you in a bit.